Hello everyone, and welcome to the Archaeogaming Museum, and welcome back to the RuneScape Archaeology skill series. It has been a while, so it's been a while since really any major video with starting some new projects, starting some new work and a new job. Things have just been pushed back a little bit. So really sorry about that, but hopefully now we can get back more into a regular schedule. So today we are back with another RuneScape Archaeology series, part 8 in fact, and for those of you who have not seen the series before, who need a bit of a reminder, in this series we look at the archaeology skill within RuneScape and look at how it represents the discipline of archaeology, the profession of archaeology, how it represents archaeology culturally or any cultural references from the real world in RuneScape, and also how sort of RuneScape uses it as a mechanic. We go in a bit more detail about this in the first episode, which I'll link down in the description. At the end of the video, you'll also find the playlist on the end card, so you can go and check it out there. Now, in our last video, which was a few weeks ago now, we had just finished one of the major mysteries in the prison block of Kharid-et, and we were trying to decide what to do next. So just as a quick recap of what we've done in the series so far, we start off doing a playthrough of the tutorial, and then we set about investigating the very first dig site that you unlock in RuneScape, Kharid-et, or the Zerosian Fortress. Now, this is not a RuneScape lore video, so I'm not going to go too much into lore other than what we find out through actually doing the excavations and the investigations. This is also not, remember, this is also not a skilling video. This is not a walkthrough, leveling guide. It's nothing like that. It is an archaeologist playing and looking at RuneScape. So we did that, we looked at the tutorial, and we started looking at the first dig site. We started off investigating the outside of the fortress, trying to uncover the entrance, recreate a special medallion to unlock the inside. We got into the inside and we set about trying to unlock the prison door, and then opening up solitary confinement, which is sort of where we left it off at the end of the last episode. And then I was not sure really how to proceed, because in order to solve the next mysteries at the Kharid-et dig site, our archaeological knowledge, our archaeological experience in game was not good enough. We needed some more training, we needed some more experience. But where do we go and do that? Do we continue digging at Kharid-et? It's a bit repetitive, trying to, not much new to uncover until we can really solve those mysteries, unlock those new areas. We could complete the artifact guides for the local museums, but again, that's quite repetitive and not necessarily the most interesting thing to watch from a viewing perspective, I guess. I don't know, you can let me know that. So what I've decided to do instead is to start looking at the second dig site you unlock, the Infernal Source, which you unlock at level 20. So let's find out a bit more about the Infernal Source by cheating and looking at the Wikipedia. So the Infernal Source Dig Site, as I said, is the second dig site you unlock at level 20, or when your archaeology skills have honed since the tutorial a little bit. You know, you're no longer quite so fresh-faced archaeologist. So the Infernal Source Dig Site is just west of the Jolly Boar Inn in just east of the rock, and at level 20 you receive an invitation from the site manager Movario asking for your help, both as a archaeologist, but also as a bodyguard. So he's a bit reluctant at first, really. He's a bit more forthcoming with details, and you know, throughout the excavation, a little bit of a spoiler, you learn that this was a this site was part of the Order of Dis, which was a secretive Zamorakian demon cult that operated throughout the Third Age, another one of RuneScape's deities. If you want to know more a bit about the lore, I'll put the relevant links to the wiki in the description as well, so you can go and have a look. But I said this isn't a lore video, this is an exploration of archaeology. So the site's reasonably easy to get to. If you just go to the rock, you just go out the east gate, head north past the Lumberyard, up to the Jolly Boar Inn. You can get to it from there. You can go to the Archaeology Guild and use their map. And there's other ways as well, but those are probably the two easiest and most simple ones that you'll have just starting out. Broadly speaking, the Infernal Source can be broken down into three main areas to the Infernal Source Dig Site. You've got the Star Lodge Cellar, the Dungeon of Disorder, and the source itself. So you start off and you just work your way down. As you always do with archaeology, you follow the stratigraphy. Don't chase the artifacts, follow the layers, follow the stratigraphy. So what we're going to do with the Infernal Source is we're going to do the intro bit to this, start digging, maybe level up by collecting some new artifacts here, doing something a bit different, solving some of the mysteries here, and see how far we can get here before we need to go off and train elsewhere, or if we can then go and complete some of the other mysteries back at Kharid-et and try and progress further with that. So I think that's enough talking and spoilers through the wiki. Let us jump into the game itself, and just before we do that, have a nice sip of coffee, because that is coffee or tea is of course imperative, or beer, to any archaeological investigation. So we are here at the entrance of the dig site. So if I just bring up the world map. So we are here, the rock is here, the dig site is just here, just by the just west of the Lumberyard and just next to the Jolly Boar Inn. And here is Movario. Let's talk to him. Blast, this infernal device isn't working. Too much local interference, maybe. If it were that case, though, does that mean... Hey, are you here to help find the source? Why? Are you the site manager? Sounds slightly, Because I'm quite well known for tracking down powerful... Or why? Because I'm quite well known for tracking down powerful magical relics from ages past. Wait, you're Archaeology. You've already witnessed my greatness. Why am I explaining it to you? There is a certain amount of expectation that maybe you've met some of these NPCs previously through other quests, and things like that, which isn't always the case. Oh right, yeah, you're not a member of the Archaeology Guild though, are you? No, thank you, I'm an independent contractor. Those guild members disparagingly refer to me as a pot hunter, think I'm only interested in the money and the fame. They are wrong, I'm interested in the power too. Now that is one of the things I'm going to commend actually RuneScape for, that in the tutorial, and I keep on harping on about this, but just as a little bit of a reminder, it's been a while. In the 4 reasons they give for wanting to do archaeology, get involved in archaeology, they do include storytelling and creating stories, and ultimately that is what archaeology is about. It is about telling stories, about piecing together information to create those stories from the past. We are part-time detectives, part storytellers. Unfortunately, they also go through wealth, fame and power too, but in a fantasy game, and a game which sort of does work on certain cultural tropes, I guess that is understandable to a certain extent. Okay, I can see why you're a great choice to manage this site then. Of course you do! That was sarcasm. Sigh. Well, you'll see. What is this dig site about? The source. What's the source? It's shorthand for the Infernal Source. Apparently it's some long-lost and enormously powerful energy source. Huh. Like the Stone of Jas. I actually see why you were chosen to find it. Is this it, then? The Jolly Ball Inn? What's the power source? Is it beer? To be fair, for all archaeologists, you know, beer, or for most archaeologists anyway, beer is the source. Chaos Gauntlets, giant hairy cabbages. Philistine, this isn't the source itself. My research has led me to this being the entrance to it, or at least an entrance. Mark my words. So what? We're just head inside and start digging? I don't get it. Not the inn, you buffoon. Beneath it, the Jollybot Inn is built on an older building called the Star Lodge. My research leads me to believe that it was buried by the fallout from the Kharid-et explosion. Guild members have dug out a tunnel going under the Jolly Ball. Start in there and look for the source. I want to talk about the mysteries. There's a gutted fireplace within the Star Lodge. Did that think that seems to be missing some quests? Okay, let's actually watch the cutscene because that explains a little bit more about the lore, and it's voice acted and it gives me a bit of a break from talking.
I struggle to understand the monolith's directions to the source. It points northwest, but the distance and depth are unclear, variable. At least Movario seems confident we are digging in the right place. He explores rumors of a cult that seemingly operated in this area throughout the Third Age. Though what the source itself actually is remains a mystery. Perhaps all of this is due to the chaotic nature of the thing. The monolith revealed this chaotic nature to me. That is why it is so interested in learning more about the source.
Sorry about that slight interruption through there. So there we go. So he won't actually tell me any more about those mysteries. Okay. So no, he doesn't seem like maybe the best choice for a site supervisor, as you know, he does appear to be much more of a treasure hunter than an actual archaeologist. So I'm slightly apprehensive about helping him, but you know, maybe by helping him we can put him back on the right track and we can, you know, slowly show him the error of his ways and the fact that storytelling and the best aspect, and that's, you know, what he finds here should probably belong in a museum. So here we go. So we've got a weird fireplace in this corner. For those of you who've seen the previous episode, we did quickly come and actually look at the Infernal Source back in episode 3 or 4, I want to say, but only very, very briefly. So this is the first level of the Infernal Source. This is the Star Lodge cellar. So this is all we can see or look at so far. So let's have a look at this fireplace itself. These look to be four recesses in this fireplace's mantle. 3 are empty, but 1 has some sort of crest in it. I think I read somewhere about crests of Dagon. Maybe this is where they go. I do like the music to this. Sorry if that's a bit loud, but I do enjoy it. And by studying this, we've opened up some more research. I can send a research team from the Archaeology Guild to go and study that further. So what deposits do we have here? We've got some fiery, let's uncover the fiery brimstone and see what we've got. So we've got some lodge art storage here. So an area maybe where maybe this wasn't part of an art room. What's in this Star Lodge storage box? Not noticed that before. Ah, your search yields something of interest. It's always a good idea to fully explore a place. So we've found a crest of Dagon. So we've found a fully restored crest of Dagon. Should probably really not mess around with weird ancient cults. But you know, it's part. The perils are part of the archaeology job description, aren't they? Shall we? Is it a good idea to put this crest in this fireplace? What could possibly go wrong? What possible harm could it do? Let's see what happens. So now there are 2. It looks like there's another 2 left to find before whatever is going to happen is going to happen. So we do have some more time to think about whether we should be messing around with this fireplace. Who is around here? We do have another archaeologist just randomly digging there. Lodge bar storage now. This is my kind of thing that I want to dig. Let's dig the bar storage. Maybe we'll find some beer. So let's get down to doing some excavating. Oh, we found a hookah pipe. What can we actually find here? Ooh. Let's have a look. Oh, opulent wine goblet. Let's find an opulent wine goblet. Wine is good as well. So, we've got to find the other 2 crests of Dagon. And these founders' pages, I'm sure, will play a part in our excavation and mystery efforts. Again, what I really like about the actual, as a skill, as a game mechanic thing, you do have the excavation and you've got the mysteries and solving the mysteries based off what you find. You know, it's a really good example of real life archaeology with a very sort of fantasy game twist, I guess. So, careful excavation using a hand mattock rather than a trowel. You know, that's the thing I'm slightly disappointed. There's no trowels really. Every archaeologist has a trowel. It's their favourite tool and they grow quite attached to them. Saying that, I'm not sure where mine is. You should always know where your trowel is. Here's mine. Or here's one of mine. This one's not been as used as much as the other one. Let's have that as our little mascot for the for our digging. So, lots of fiery brimstone, a few gold runes, 1 page, 1 pipe, and some orphan glass. Where's the time spike gone actually? Because that will improve our XP and chances of finding stuff. Dig, 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 dig. Do 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 do. So let's just fill my soil box, my little portable spoil heap. And what we'll do is we'll do a bit of excavation here today. This was only really designed to be sort of an introduction, a reintroduction video, just because, again, I had not done a video for a while. See if we can find maybe another crest eventually. So I haven't searched that storage box there. We might find another one in there. I hadn't noticed that one before actually. See, this is why you really need to have a good look around. Okay, let's have a look in this one. Do we find another crest of Dagon? Oh, we find... Find some glass. What's that? Oh no, I have searched that one. That's it. Is that a different one? It is a different one because it's allowing me to search that one again, unless they replenish themselves, maybe? Don't know. Have to check that one out again in a moment. Let's have a look. What's in this one then? Oh no, we found something. We have found a book. By the looks of it. Okay, this book does not have words, only very suggestive pictures. And those suggestive pictures somehow made us better at archaeology. Of course. It's best not to ask those questions, I guess. Best not to ask those kind of questions. What we'll do a bit more about, because it's coming up to about half an hour now. We'll do a bit, see what we can do in 8 minutes. We may not get that far. And again, like I said before, you know, I will try and do some, at least some basic leveling, or maybe finding the things needed next for the next big bit in the story. Not in a video, and then just record the interesting bits, but I will post updates on social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and so forth, etc. What we are going to need to do in a moment now is empty our inventory, I hope, above ground. Oh, we found another hookah pipe. I wonder if there's the ability to restore objects up here. Hopefully we have a... Do we have a workbench? Oh, we do have a workbench. And material storage. That's great. Oh, we can restore a pipe. Oh, let's restore both of those then while we're here. Now, again, restoration of objects is not a field archaeologist's primary job, or many archaeologists, you know, sometimes it's done. Pieces are sometimes put back together by post-excavation specialists. But major restorations are, you know, generally done by restorers or conservators. Because that's their speciality, really. That's what they focus on. But I guess, you know, it's a good mechanic. You know, you couldn't really have, in a game where archaeology is not the main focus, you can't really have restoration as a separate skill, really. So... you know, that's not too much of a issue or negative point. Oh, the Philosophia Cubiculio. What does this have? The completest submersiveness is your lot, and that is all. Well, reading weird cryptic ancient scrolls also, you know, somehow make you better at archaeology. Again, not going to question it necessarily. Oh, actually, what does the art storage, what do we get from the art storage? Crest of Dagon, so I guess as that's what we're looking for. Although I do want to find a wine goblet, we should probably focus on the Crest of Dagon and seeing what those will eventually happen when we put those in a fireplace. Hopefully it doesn't blow us up, although, you know, can never be too sure. And we're on a good way to get into level 60 archaeology as well. That's not bad. Need to get about to level 70 something, I think, to continue the Kharid-et. Or at minimum, for the lowest thing we need to do, and up to like 100 odd for some of the other things. But you know, we can start other mysteries. In order to keep these things kind of tidy, I'll probably still have a complete playlist for where these ghosts are crunched in, and I'll also have different playlists separate for the Kharid-et, Infernal Source, and any other dig sites we get round to looking at. Don't want to start too many without completing at least one or two first, though, so this may require some really quite a lot of, well, not grinding, archaeology training. That's what we call it. Excavation experience, field experience. May require some more field experience. Found some lovely vellum. Come on, let's see if we can find at least something in the next 3 minutes. We might go up to 40 just so we can find one more Crest of Dagon. And we may have an examination of these founders' pages before we fully stop as well, and try transcribe them into our archaeology journal so they don't keep on taking up space in our inventory. Because that's, of course, what a archaeology journal is for, making detailed notes about what you find. Let's get a Crest of Dagon. How are we? Halfway to our next artifact, which is what this bar here denotes. So we might get there reasonably soon. Oh, spite's gone off. We must follow the spite. I wish time spites existed on real digs. Show you where to dig, where to dig to get the best artifacts. But of course, it's not about finding the artifacts. It's about discovering the story in which the artifacts play a part. But we're not Victorians, remember, we don't just chase features and artifacts, we want to uncover everything layer by layer, which is something this doesn't really do. Apart from, as I said, each sort of site is sort of got different areas to uncover, which you could view like it being stratigraphy. That's how I like to view it, just to, trying to make myself think that they took stratigraphy into account. So let's have a quick read of these pages then. Our inmates. I'm back to Kharid-et again. No, our initiates have located the gate. The Imperial capital continues to stand up to Saradomin's assault, but they have retreated within their strong walls. The gate sits on the outskirts of the city, nothing more now than a shrine to hubris. We shall break it down and smuggle it piece by piece to the lodge. I've handed each cell leader a Crest of Dagon. All four will need to come together to open the hidden path behind the fireplace. Ah, now we know what the fireplace is for. And deliver each gate piece to the rest of the order below. Once gathered there, and once the circle is complete, it can be sent on to the source to be reconstructed. This was written by Duchess Philippa Wharton, founder of the Star Lodge. So what does page 3? We haven't got page 1 yet. I've told them before not to work in the night. The lodge gets too busy at night, and the noises from below need to cease. Lest someone notice our mask slip. and we are outed. The crackling fireplace hides our sins, as does the raucous laughter and the music, but we are too close to be taking these risks. There is no deadline to our task, but the acolytes get too excitable. If they are so damned excited, they could offer themselves, but no. They think themselves above the sacrifice. Some physical discouragement is in order to remind them of our precarious position here. Some examples need to be made. At night we play our part and entertain the masses. We take only the lost and the lonely, the forgotten few. Then only during the day do we encourage them to accept a gift from the source. Those that do are free to leave us and spread our word abroad. Those that do not, well, as they say, there's always a choice. Not that I would consider Dagon a choice, though Dagon claims he despises this use for him. His contract decrees it, and he will do as I say. So, definitely some very dodges going on. Oh, let's transcribe these actually. Just to free up that precious inventory space. Like with all fantasy role-playing games, inventory space is key to success. So what we'll do is we'll find our next artifact, which I'm hoping is a Crest of Dagon, as we now know what they are for, although we had a suspicion that, you know, putting them in the fireplace would probably open up some secret passage. It's the usual kind of thing that something like that does. Stereotypical thing. I hope it also isn't linked, you know, to nasty traps and things like that. Because that's also what often happens as well. We are almost there. Almost. There we go. Crest of Dagon damaged. Well, let us go and restore that then. And that will be the end of our journey, I think, for today. At least in the video. As I say, I may continue, may try and uncover another crest, just so when we pick up the next video, we can go in the wrong direction. Oh, no, not that is the right direction. We can jump into the more exciting things. So we need... Oh no, it looks like we've got everything we need. Let's restore it then. And we're getting close, very close, to our next level. Our next our next boost in experience, our next skill, archaeological revelation. There we go. Would have gained enough experience to be, yes, I am a slightly better archaeologist now. I have practiced enough at my field work. There's a random chef's hat here. Let's take the chef's hat. Oh, it's gone now. Oh, never mind. So yes, we're going to leave it here for today, I think. Let's just go back down into the back down and take refuge at the fireplace. Here we go. Let's just mute that for a moment, just as I wrap up the video. Well, I said I'm going to leave that here for now, but I will do a bit more, try and uncover a new Crest of Dagon ready for the next video, which hopefully will be sometime about the same time next week. I've got a couple of other videos coming up that also I want to do. The next in our COVID game series and sort of the last of the COVID-19 2020 related games that I've been looking at in one of my other major series, looking at them as sort of artifacts of 2020 and 21 and the COVID-19 pandemic and what they can tell us about people's experiences during the pandemic and what they might be able to tell people, archaeologists, scholars, researchers of the future, about what 2020 and the COVID-19 pandemic is like, or was like. How good an artifact can a game be? And also we're going to be starting a new series looking at Archaeogaming, which was the result of the Twitter poll for one of the next games I'll be looking at. I've got a whole list again of ones I want to look at. Any recommendations, please let me know as well. I hope you have enjoyed this video and are still enjoying these videos. If you have, please consider giving it a like, subscribing to the channel if you've not done so already, and hitting that notification bell to find when I upload again. Next video release will probably be the COVID video, which might be tomorrow or Monday. And then next Thursday or next Friday, I'll do another RuneScape Archaeology video. Do consider following the Archaeogaming Museum on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook as well, as there'll be other things, other posts that I do, other bits and pieces on there in the meantime as well. But until next time, thank you so much for watching and take care. Bye.